Oh, it's on one
The
of
next stop
these.
Rap
is
radar,
Oh
rap
on
radar.
shit.
Radar Radio.
Okay.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Dismiss. Getting YouTube TV ads when I have YouTube TV is crazy.
Damn, yeah.
I just
I
want to
thought
clarify.
YouTube TV takes it out. I thought they take the ads out.
Yes, sir, baby. On the
Nah.
Radar Radio freestyles. Yo, Big Sean in the building. I'm gonna step out. He gonna step in and body this. All right.
I thought he was wearing a Dan shirt because I'm dyslexic.
One time for baby girl to live.
It's gotta be
Real
DMX.
Detroit legend. Yep. Hey, look. I had to switch the home team cause they committed treason. Eliante had a piece hit, I'm feeling seasick. Niggas looking for engagement like they got they knee bent. I got better things to do than find someone to beef with, or else I'm off the deep end. This game will take you either way, you know it's offense, defense. They say it's lonely at the top, well come and talk to me then. From where they quick to draw your watch like they trying to freehand. If your girl only knew I fly out this weekend. But you lucky, cause I'd rather spend some time with Lil Man. I see myself in my son, it's like I'm tucking me in. Bitches in trouble. He already starting to break hearts and bursting bubbles. It's shooters that'll shoot you regardless of Metro trust you. Paid in full, nigga like me, love to hustle. They wanna disrupt you, up to try to one up you. Luckily I'm up to God's time, ain't no rush for. World in my hands, I'ma treat it like a Rubik's Cube. Maneuver through from the ground up, took it through the roof. Best advice I ever gave myself was just be true to you. I always knew that I was the best, I guess I gotta prove it too. Man, this industry is terrible, I can't even vouch. I seen grown men get matching tattoos for the clout. I had train wrecks and kick home records out of my house. I seen 8-figure checks at once hit my account. That showed me enough's a feeling, dog, it's not an amount. Cause I've been up and still hungry like I'm down for the count. Difference is I'm an activist and you drink activist. And I'm back acclimated. And I'ma need my cut off toppers decapitated. Nigga. What the fuck you a pro at? Procrastinating? Shine, where the fuck you been at? Recalibrating. It's mixed in your inner circle. Niggas is half hating. Fucking it up so long, dog, I ain't even light-winded. Niggas back acting up like when that strike ended. New ring flash before your eyes like your life ended. Niggas be complaining too much, quit acting light-skinned. But trust when I see your dark side, I got night vision. Going hard as Dr. Umar on white women. Oh, God. Man, that's it, man. Better me than you.
I didn't hear the diss.
It was in there. It was in there.
Yeah, I think you want it to be in there. I was listening pretty hard.
Big Sean, rap radar. We're going crazy.
That
So no,
was
he
hard,
started
though.
off basically just blah blah blah. Get my
He started off blah
came
blah
out.
blah.
It came out today. I can't remember the bars. All right.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Something about knee bent. I don't have to go look for somebody to start a beef with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, I guess.
It's you're clout chasing to get some recognition. Big Sean rap radar. How we feel? Bars. He kind of went stupid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That he had some shit in there. Like, no, it's so funny. Now that I'm a parent, the parent bars get me now.
Oh really?
When he says, I see myself and my son, it's like tucking me in. I was like, that's hard. That's hard.
I'm almost there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm
Yeah.
almost there. Baby steps.
It just so different. So we're gonna get into Eminem's album, but those two songs at the end that's about his daughter, I cried. I'm gonna be honest.
No, temporary?
cried.
Oh no.
I cried.
Oh
that's
no,
crazy.
that's a whole different thing. That was one of my. I feel you.
The Dr. Umar bar was crazy.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid.
I seen dudes get matching tattoos for clout. That seems like a Drake diss.
No. That was there's that picture that came out. It was Kanye West, Steve Lacy, and Lil Uzi got all got matching tattoos. They were like this, looking stupid.
See, I
as
don't
hell.
know that. Like, this some shit I just don't. I'll never know.
I'm here for you though.
I know. I need you. I need you to be the plug.
No, they were like this, and obviously him and Kanye are.
Him and Kanye beef. Yeah.
Yeah. So that it ties in.
That shit was hard though.
That's what I'm saying. Big Sean's coming. The rollout's coming. Kendrick kind of stepped on it to begin with, but if you're smart on how you do this, you utilize that in the rollout.
No, that was legit. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Big Sean's coming. Big Sean always could rap. His song making ability can be inconsistent, but he can rap. And some of his punch
Typically.
bars, his punchlines can be a little corny too. But
Yeah, but that's the Detroit in him.
You saying all Detroit rappers are corny?
No.
Clip that up. Clip that up.
No. I do the clipping. Clip it up. Clip it up. There are just certain rappers in this world. Wayne has even fallen into this category at times.
Not very often.
Where you feel like everything's got to be a bar.
Oh,
It doesn't, you know.
Like you turn something to a punchline.
Like everything's a punchline. Like you don't have to every time, you know.
Yeah,
you could
like
just
it's
let it breathe a little bit and then come back. Like maybe on the 4th bar you don't do a punchline, maybe come back pack at it at the 8th bar. But some dudes like every 2 bars is punchline. It's like you can't have a 100% batting average at that point. You know what I'm saying?
100%. No, 100%.
You're gonna miss a lot.
I've heard some trash lines. Dude, my hat on and it's hat fitted. Like, no, sir, I already knew that. Like this, you don't have to take the beat out for that moment. It's okay.
My hat fit like it losing weight. It's like, okay.
Okay. Well,
my hat fit like it go to the gym. It's like, yo, calm down.
My hat fitted. It's like, all right, I got it.
Like, no,
my hat so fitted it's on Ozempic. Like, all right, man.
My hat so fitted is the most 2001 New York bar in the world. My hat so fitted, ain't no room in there.
You should get a bigger hat. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yo, starting off a verse, my hat so fitted, my pants so baggy. Like we just really go. We could turn
pants so baggy. Back. I got rope for my homies' paws. Whoa.
Shit. That needs to be another pod segment. Not obviously we didn't talk about it here, but really good rappers that have really sus bars.
Oh no,
Biggie. That needs to be a whole segment.
Biggie is number one.
Pac's got one where he's like, "We bust on bad boys for life." It's like,
no, Biggie straight up said, "You so fine, I'll suck on your daddy dick." Why would that even come up?
like, why is that your like pickup line?
Why would like?
Hey,
who did that? Who did that work on? Girl, I want to know.
I'm really trying to prove that I like this girl. What's something I can say?
No, and I don't even want the girl that's like, damn, you must be committed. Like, nah.
The girl that's into that is probably one that's nothing but trouble. She's like, oh, word? It's like, ew.
Wait, hold on.
Any rightful woman would be like, ew.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Like, how is that a thought?
Get away from me and my daddy.
Yeah, we're not starting off this pod talking shit about Biggie.
I mean,
but
Biggie's one of my favorite rappers of all time. But you know, you could
have left that one in the tuck. Is all I'm saying. I feel like that's not crazy to say.
The problem is he could have left that in the tuck too. Like I don't understand.
like I feel like it's not crazy to say. Nowadays, I'm really understanding that there's some fan bases you just can't talk. You can't say anything about. Yeah. Like I'm gonna let you know this Eminem segment.
Hey, what happens happens.
I'm out, man.
We respect him for what he's did, but you know, let's roll into it, right? The death of Slim Shady.
The death of Slim Shady. Look, best album I've ever heard is top one. This is his best album.
Facts.
And yeah, I mean, goated. What else can I say?
It's the best album I ever heard with earmuffs on. All right. I do want to say, we talked about this last pod. I said I'm not going in with any expectations because
right.
I don't feel great about this. Okay. Going in with no expectations, I'm not too upset. Yeah, I do. With no expectations, I'm cool. I got some songs I can kind of rock with. We led into it. However, the album is 19 songs long. The run to me starts at 15, which is a problem.
Lucky to even get there.
I just want y'all to understand how committed I am as an M fan to last that long. Because we had some roller coasters to get to that point. But once he kills off Slim Shady, rolls into Temporary, the album gets pretty solid for me. But that's about 80% of the album that's kind of iffy.
Yeah, you're talking about 4 records, 5. You're talking about 4 records.
One's a skip.
Like he said, once a skit.
That's
Dude,
hard.
We're gonna have a hard time getting through this. I already know that I can just tell the energy today, and we're not gonna be serious about fucking anything. I can already tell. It didn't start good. It's not gonna end good.
We're here now. It's okay. No problem.
So I'll say this, and this is where I'll try my best to give an honest take.
Okay.
I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not hate it. With that intro sounded like it was recorded in the early 2000s.
Yeah, agreed.
And honest to God, my initial thought was, this is an old record that he's throwing on here. But in the song, he's talking about Kendrick's album and like new shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this is new. And so I was happy to hear that it's still there.
Yeah.
Give me a full album of whatever energy that intro record was on. I'm happy. I'm really happy.
I think this album proved the Eminem rapping ability that's not based off speed is still there.
Yep.
That's where
he slowed down a little bit this album.
Which is, I'm sorry, the speed is cool, but the best one to ever do that was Twista, and we see how his career turned out.
Yo.
Listen.
Hey. I saw someone say white rappers rapping fast is their like racist guilt coming out super fast. Someone said that, and I was like, that shit's funny.
And I just want you to know, Eminem dressed it on the album that I don't even like this. that y'all do that. We can stop now.
So I compared it, and this is a weird comparison, but I always say some weird shit, but I follow it up with context. It was like Donda for me, and I've texted you this. We had a conversation where it's like, it sounds good, but content-wise, I'm not into it. Like, Donda's a Christian album. I'm not Christian, so as far as content, it kind of loses me a little bit.
Which is wow, because Donda's far better than this album.
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm just like, we're talking about just from a like, what are they talking about standpoint?
I got you.
Sonically, it clears 1,000%. But if Kendrick Lamar is my favorite rapper of all time, if Kendrick Lamar put out an album about him being canceled, I would say it's corny. I content wise, it's not for me. Like I don't know what else to say. It's like it's not. I don't care about cancellation. I don't care about saying edgy things or being punished for saying edgy things. I don't care about it. So that's 90% of this album, except for the really personal records, which I thought were really good. Yeah, like it just content wise, not for me, but his rapping ability, and even like I said, that intro song and sprinkled in throughout the album, there's still some good quality stuff from Eminem, and it was good to hear on that part. But here's one thing. It doesn't fucking matter because he's got the fan base that they're ride or die. So it doesn't matter.
I will say that I think when it first rolled out, first and foremost, we knew this, but we know rap fans don't actually listen to rap, because the first comments I heard, M diss Kendrick, M diss Kendrick. He didn't. I know you, and I know your brain. When you heard that record, your first thought was, "Oh, they're gonna run with this." Yeah,
100%. They're immediately gonna run with this.
And then I immediately saw it everywhere. M diss Kendrick. It's like, y'all literally just had to finish the bar.
Let him finish.
That's it. Like, just let it play 3 more seconds, and you would have figured out what he was doing there.
That was some bait, and they took it.
So quick. First line. Now, one of the things I do want to say is I am also tired of the Eminem bait bars. I'm over it. Like, it's cool. You're 51 years old, and it's almost like you're rapping from a perspective of a 13-year-old.
You're like, ooh, I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna make you mad. Ha ha ha. And it's like,
ha ha, Christopher Reeves, you're disabled.
I still don't know who that motherfucker is.
He's the one that played Superman.
Yeah, no, he plays. I know, but like, I don't know at the same time.
I get you. But it's like, okay, Eminem is 51 years old. Why do you keep talking about, what did Christopher Reeves do? You know what? I'll put my tinfoil hat on. What could Christopher Reeves done at this point? Because he got this, had a disease, paralyzed, wheelchair for the rest of his life. What the hell? Like, what are you so upset about? I don't understand. Like,
I'm sure the Eminem stands can answer
Christopher
that somewhere.
Reeves,
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner is way too much on his brain.
Real estate, like she bought some condos in his brain.
Yeah, bro. Like what? Like let it go. She don't want you, big dog. It's over with.
She don't want you, big dog.
At some point, all right. Because
Caitlyn Jenner doesn't even like men. I don't think. I think she's trans, but still likes women. I think
that's a fly ass way to live.
I think that's the case.
Homie had babies, got married, and it was like, you know what? I kind of fuck with getting my nails did, and then I'm gonna keep fucking women though. Yeah. I got titties now. That's popping.
Hey, by all means.
But why is Eminem so obsessed with this? Like, I don't understand. And to your point, that's the content that I just don't really care for. I don't want to hear about it over and over again. It's not even so much, oh, you're offending. It's like it's not even doing anything. Like,
I don't think anybody cares. That's the thing.
Exactly. Like, it's not even so much like, oh, that was interesting. You get canceled. You're not getting canceled. You're Eminem. I get it.
They're like the people who cancel people are like, oh, he's doing it again.
Yeah, it's like
he's doing it again.
You know, remind me a little bit of is Dave Chappelle when he was on his third stand-up talking about trans people. It's like, all right, bro, like at this point, let it go. Like, move on.
Yeah, I have not seen any like angry let's cancel Eminem stuff. Like, I have not seen it.
It's more so like, bro, this is corny now. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What's the point of all this? I don't get it.
I would like to see an album where he's a little more personal, like those like the Daughter records. Those two records, I feel like were the best songs on the album, and like that little skit he has where he's like clearly fucked up, and he's like, "I died, sorry for choosing drugs over you."
Temporary.
That shit was crazy, man.
No, temporary fuck with me a little bit.
And I have a daughter now, so I'm like, no, I can't leave my baby. So I was like, this fucked me up, and I was listening to it by myself in the dark.
Oh shit, you was on
dark
emo mode.
Yeah.
But as a 51-year-old rapper, that's where your content should lie in, right? Like that's a realistic thing. That's a realistic side of your life that, hey, I'm not going to be here for forever. And as an M fan that was there when I was 13, 14 years old, loved his music. Now in my 30s, I'd rather hear music like that now. I want to hear that you matured. I want to hear that you've evolved. I want to hear where you're at in your life now. Instead, I get to hear about Christopher Reeves, who died in 2004.
Yeah. So. I don't get it, but I'll say this. I hope Jid doesn't get the Eminem stamp curse. Because Jid killed this shit.
No, he went crazy. What was it?
The
Fuel? Fuel?
Yeah, Fuel. The people that Eminem has stamped. Yellow Wolf.
Ooh. Yellow Wolf was hard for 2 seconds.
Slaughterhouse.
Pause.
Joyner Lucas.
Ugh.
The guys that Eminem has stamped, it doesn't age well.
It's a nasty list. I ain't gonna
lie. That's all
to
I'm saying. So I hope Jid doesn't get this curse, because I've been saying Jid is next for about 5 years now. And I'm still rocking with it. But him getting it seemed like he was the true feature. Because I know it was like Big Sean and Baby Tron, but I found out that record was supposed to be on Lyrical Lemonade shit, a Cole Bennett shit. And Eminem called Cole. There's like a video of it. And Eminem called Cole and said, like, I want that record on my album. So Jid was like the true album feature, if you think about it.
I got you.
And he went and Jid. Yeah.
That sounds crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Jid.
But to be safe, Jid, stay the hell away from Eminem. Which sounds crazy. Eminem's a rap legend, but once you hear that list, it gets a little scary. It gets a little spooky. Get away.
I think that and that video, I remember seeing that video of Jid saying he hates lyrical miracle rappers. And then he did a song with the most lyrical miracle rapper.
The lyrical miracle rapper.
Like, Lyrical Miracle Spiritual was that joking bar was created by Eminem during the BET Cypher.
Yes.
So like, you went to the source, my guy.
Which I get how you.
If he calls, you got to do it.
No, it's if you listen to Jid as a rapper, you understand. You got to
do it. Yeah.
You can hear it. You can hear it in the way he raps.
But yeah, no. So if the album, even if the album was objectively bad, I'm not saying it is, But if it was, it doesn't matter because the fan base is going to carry it where it needs to go.
That's going number one. It's going number one.
Yeah, it'll be number one. And speaking of number one, it's slated to do 300,000 first week.
That's disgusting.
And I'll say this: Future's "We Don't Trust You" did 251.
That's what I'm saying. That puts him in top 3 in rap.
Future's crazy.
I
literally, I saw it's gonna do 300,000, and I go, for whatever reason, I go, what was Future's like "We Don't Trust You" numbers? And I went and looked, 251. Future's 50,000 off from being Eminem. That's crazy.
I mean, I get it, but yeah.
I went back and listened to Future when he was with the Dungeon Family. Like back in 04 or some shit. They sounded like Outkast. That shit was good. But
I mean, who would you want to sound like if you're in the freaking Dungeon Family?
Yeah.
I want to sound like that guy.
Yeah, well, so closing thoughts on Eminem's album. Goated.
I hope this is the final album.
I hope this is the death of Slim Shady.
The death of everything, you know. If the only way if we do get another album, I hope that to my point, the last 5 songs of the album I really liked. We liked the Toby song. We talked about that one. Temporary song was probably my favorite song of the entire album. If now we're saying Death of Slim Shady, if we're now rolling into that character, I'm with it. I want to hear the next album. But
that kind of did build that bridge, didn't it?
Right? Like you would think. And so if that's what we're getting, I'm all for it. I'll give me an album
listen to the next one
later this year. Like I'm happy to get it. However, I just don't have a lot of confidence in that, to be, unfortunately. 1 out of 10, I'm giving it a solid 6. It's gonna be number 1. Good for Eminem. We like Eminem, a legend. He's rapping his ass off on this album. He's never gonna not rap his ass off. He's just one of the greatest rappers of all time. It's not a slight to him, but it is what it is. We just want a little bit more than that.
You ready for my rating?
Oh God!
If you like it, it's a 10. If whoever's listening to this, if you like it, it's a 10.
I get it.
There you go. For me, content wise, it's just nothing that I want to listen to. Content wise, about cancellation stuff like that. It's this. If Jay-Z, if Lil Wayne, if Kendrick put out an album with this content level, I'm not listening. I'm listening to it. I'm like, all right, cool, not going back.
Yeah, it's just not for me. If he would have put this album out maybe 3 years ago when cancel culture was at a high, I probably still wouldn't like it, but it would resonate a little bit more. Yeah, but it almost waited until after. I mean, it is what it is. I hope it's a death of Slim Shady. I hope we move on to a mature Eminem. He's in his 50s. I just don't want to hear you rap about trans jokes anymore. It's over with, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And speaking of albums, you put the segment together, top 5 sleeper albums, and you kind of told me the context of yours, and I kind of went off of what you didn't show me your list, but you told me where you were going with it. So correct. I went with it, and I kind of went crazy with it. So
so my goal with this is to highlight artists who you just don't see very often, right?
Sure.
I think that sometimes if you're gonna be that hip hop stan kind of like we are, artists that nobody knows that has a classic album, right? Am I wrong there?
Yep.
So that's what more so this is highlighting. I want to highlight those artists that may not get as much attention, but they have put together, in my eyes, damn near a perfect album.
Right. Yeah. So I took that because you sent me a text. You said, I'm kind of going with, people who need a shout out. Mm-hmm. And I got to thinking, who in my brain do I think needs a shout out,
Yeah.
And so I went with it. I went and got some battle rappers, and I got their albums because people say battle rappers can't make music. So I was some people can. So I went and I got some. I got a funny one in here, kind of an honorable mention, but and I have a reason for all of them, and it's really funny. So how are you starting this off?
Let's see. Want me to kick it off?
Kick it off.
At 5, I put the year 2 because I wanted to keep it somewhat relevant. I didn't want to go back to the early 2000s for this.
No shit.
It's something that you're gonna get in the streaming area. I got Brandon Banks by Maxo Cream in 2019.
Ooh.
Houston bias, maybe, but
maybe.
Regardless, album's crazy. Maxo is one of the underrated rappers that I thought was gonna blow around that time. I heard this album, I thought, oh, it's over with. And 5 years later, we haven't really grown too much. Music's not bad. It's just, for whatever reason, it's not getting recognized.
I respect that. Let's just go back and forth. So my 5, we coming off the Eminem album.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about a white rapper that needs to get some shine.
Oh God,
Millie's, baby.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going.
Blanco 6. I wasn't gonna do Logic. He said, damn it.
That's
Millie's Blanco 6. Just not a skip. It's not like super tremendous songs, but there's just not a single song that you click next on.
They're all hard.
They're just all, and there's some that are like 2 minutes, 1:50. He even does a stand cover on that song, and that's hard as shit.
Which is a hard thing to do.
I don't want to like do some crazy shit and be like best white rapper in the game, but
no. Hey, I mean, who else you got?
Millie's is crazy. So I got Blanco 6. That's my favorite project from him. I listened to some of his newer stuff and some stuff before. This one resonates with me the most. So Millie's Blanco 6 is at my 5. What you got for 4?
At number 4, I got No Dope on Sundays by Sci-Hi. Which I found out today. Hard. I gotta go and look elsewhere. On Apple Music, it's not there anymore.
Damn.
That hurt my soul a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, because as I made this list, I was just playing albums from, from this list to kind of hear them more often, see how they want to fit in my list, how I'm gonna rate them. And I couldn't play this, but I remember this album. I love this album. I used to play this album on repeat. And then he came out with an album recently, which was cool, but it wasn't this. As you don't know, Sci-Hi, he's written for Kanye, he's written for all types of people. No Dope on Sundays is flawless in my book.
I respect that. My 4, we're gonna get my next 3 are all battle rappers at some point. So we're gonna get there. This guy was there from fucking day one. Went to the World Rap Championship back in the day. Was really noticeable on Grind Time Rapping, which was like URL before URL. And his name was Illmaculate. Now he goes by Illmac. And he has an album called Still Standing, which I think came out in 2014, or I think. Just such a good fucking album. It's a vibe. He's from Oregon, so it's like West Coast-ish, but there's some, if you're a battle rapper, you're East Coast biased in some way.
You're just a battle rapper.
Yeah, so really good project. He has a song called Hakeem. He goes, I was dreaming on the block, Hakeem Olajuwon. That shit's crazy. Crazy song. Whole album, it's kind of a short listen, but Illmac Still Standing, so fucking good. Battle rappers can make music. Some of them. What's your 3?
Solid, some of them. At 3, anytime I make a list of rappers that need more recognition, rappers that put out quality projects that maybe people don't pay attention to, I'm always gonna have a Big Crit album on there every single time.
Every single
time. Because why he's not one of the best rappers in the world, I still don't get it to this day. At number 3, I got Catalactica by Big Crit in 2014. I heard this album and I thought, oh, it's over with. Like, he's about to take over. And for whatever reason, did not resonate with certain people. I'm from the South. My perspective's a little bit different. Keep in mind, he did have Mount Olympus on there, which was a response to the Kendrick Control verse. He's the only one that responded on wax to what he was talking about. And I thought it was incredible. Nobody seemed to hear it except for me. Upsetting. But I think that he continues to put out great albums. He makes a lot of his own beats, which, first and foremost, I feel like we hear J. Cole that, like, oh, he's amazing. He's doing it at a higher level, in my opinion. Bias.
Flip it.
But in my opinion. So I got Catalactica at 3.
All right. My 3, another battle rapper back in the Grind Time era. Now he's making waves as a podcaster, and he's been in some movies too. He's in the acting scene. He's really good friends with Anderson .Paak. His name is Dumbfounded.
Okay.
He has an album called We Might Die, and it is it's experimental hip hop. So there's a whole bunch of different shit on there. There's some that I would say there's some songs that have some like ASAP Rocky type of like really like pitch down, you know, heavy space in between the drums type shit. Just it's super experimental, and it's called We Might Die. Super fucking good. The song Hit and Run with No Can Do, another battle rapper, really good record. I think he's kind of done with the music at this point because he's doing podcasts and getting millions of views, so respect to him. But yeah, Dumbfounded, We Might Die. What you got?
I love it. So at 2, a gentleman we talked about earlier in this pod, I got Jid with the Never Story in 2017.
Got it on vinyl.
Which I'm hating on, by the way. I just want to be clear. Jid, this was the moment I realized Jid could be a superstar. I think me and you are alike in thinking that why the hell is Jid not one of the biggest artists in the world?
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't know. But this album is an embodiment of what he can do from a pen perspective, from curating a song perspective, and putting an album together perspective. I think that this is a flawless album. My favorite album from Jid. Just from top to bottom. There's not a skip on here.
Yeah, he's I remember when he's talking, we're referencing when he says, you know, I don't listen to rapidy rappers. He's like, I listen to my shit because I'm amazing, but I don't listen to no one else's shit. All right. So 2 for me. This is a guy who probably, if he got the right eyes on him, would be one of the biggest rappers just in the world from just a rapping ability standpoint. That's Locksmith. He so fucking good. He has an album back in the day called 1,000 Cuts. So good. He does this thing. He popped up on my algorithm somewhat recently where he's an Uber driver. Like, I don't know if it's staged or if he's actually an Uber driver, but he picks people up and he's like, hey, do you mind if I rap for y'all? And he like puts on a beat and he just goes crazy. And that's like his new shtick. So shout out Locksmith, the Uber driver.
I would be happy to be an Uber. That's crazy.
But yeah, Locksmith, 1,000 Cuts. Some really, really deep, like depressing songs on there. But
I love a good sadness. Good sadness.
But he can rap his ass off. What's your 1?
Number 1. All right. So this is, ever heard the song I'm a Classic Man?
Oh yeah.
Jadena, 85 to Africa, came out in 2019. Hip hop, a little bit of Afro beats on there, a smidge, and obviously it's in the influence. You hear 85 to Africa, it's got to be there, right?
Don't say a smidge.
A smidge. But you hear the title 85 to Africa, it feels like that. It feels like hip hop influenced by an Afro beats, and oh my god, man,
I gotta check that out because that Classic Man shit was hard.
85 to Africa is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard from an artist I didn't really know. And I know it's a weird way to.
That's a future segment.
That's an odd statement, but it's the greatest album I ever heard from an artist I didn't know much about.
You just found.
I only heard Classic Man. Then I heard the Classic Man remix with Kendrick Lamar. Then I was like, whatever, and then moved on. I saw this album cover, which was just kind of interesting to me. I was like, I'll give it a spin, and I've been listening to that album damn near once a month ever since. 5 years later.
I really have to check it out. Honestly,
I need you check it out. We'll talk about it in the next pod, possibly. But if you just talk about pure, just putting songs together as a rapper, vibes with the Afro beats, you know, there's obviously some shit that's gonna make you dirty wine a little bit, but it's a good album all put together. I couldn't even tell you a better album than that came out. It's one of my favorite albums that came out in the past 5 years. I'll put it like that, without question. Top 5.
I respect it. So we got my 1. This gentleman here is near the top of just my favorite rappers ever. And it seems like a really funny statement to say now, considering who he is right now. Mr. Joe Budden.
Oh, shit.
Rage in the Machine. His last album before he retired does not get the respect that it deserves. That album is so hard. Rage in the Machine, the By Law song, I think is so hard. He has features with Joel Ortiz, which is funny now since, you know, they hate each other.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't go too well now.
But no, like there's a bunch of different songs on there. You got some like East Coast boom bap shit. You got some more modern shit. It's actually a unique sound from cover to cover. And you talk about the last album you mentioned, how you routinely go back to it. I routinely go back to Rage in the Machine. And I was a fan before Joe Budden became a podcaster. He was my favorite guy in Slaughterhouse. I was a huge Slaughterhouse guy. I'm white. Look at me. Of course, I was a Slaughterhouse fan. And Joe Budden, Mood Music 4, one of my favorite projects of all time. He was the inventor of the emo rap, you know? And I was a little sad boy. So Joe Budden, Rage in the Machine is my #1 album. People know him as a podcaster now. The amount of fans that he's gained as being a podcaster, they don't understand. He used to get busy.
And I think that's the funniest part about watching his podcast. I'm gonna say maybe not even watching, but seeing the reactions to his podcast. Oh, what the fuck does he know? It's like, oh, y'all have no idea.
Y'all don't know what this dude like. It's so weird to think about, like especially these younger people, right? Yeah. And it's like, oh, y'all are big Juice WRLD fans? There wouldn't be Juice WRLD without Joe Budden. I'm sorry.
Joe Budden was the first depressed rapper. Let's be clear.
Like you can maybe make an argument that like Biggie was. He had some songs like "When I Die," "Fuck It, I Want to Go to Hell," "I'm a Piece of Shit," and it's hard to fucking tell. Like
that was a different level of depression. I kind of agree with you, but I think it's a different level of depression.
Joe Budden's a more relatable depressed, like popping pills and like that. Ironically, that's just how people are depressed nowadays. So it's like,
ironically, we said that's the relating version. Neither one of us pop pills, but you understand the what you could be going through to get to that point.
Yeah, that's what y'all are doing. Nah, the people that I don't want to get on a tangent and be like the people who wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Budden, but that list is extensive. That's all I'm saying.
Correct. And some of them had said it outright.
Right, exactly. Like he was, and the thing is, he'll never get that recognition because of he's a cocky dude, and no one wants to give the cocky dude recognition.
Especially when you got something else going now. It's kind of you're a podcaster, Joe. Like that's where it's at now.
Yeah. What do you say? He laid out the blueprint for Kendrick to diss Drake and for Pusha to diss Drake, and it's like.
It sounded crazy, but
I'm just like, there gets to a point where we got to speak on facts, and he was the first one. That's all I'm saying.
Most of the things that Kendrick highlighted and the diss Gio touched on already. We'll leave it at that.
Hey,
but
that's it. I don't want to fan out, but
there's some truth to that statement. I do want to ask you, talking about some of the highlights that we talk about in that, and kind of speaking on the Kendrick Drake diss. I wanted to run a game by you, and I want to get your overall scores, right? I want to treat rappers like this is 2K, like this is Madden. I want to get a rating out of them, right?
Okay.
So first, I want to start off with X amount of artists and certain beefs. I want to know what your rating is for that individual moment and artist.
Okay, like 0 to 100, like
correct.
2K.
You roll with me, right? Yeah, right.
I got you.
We'll start off with Drake versus Meek. Where does that rate as a 2K player?
The beef in totality or Drake's performance?
Drake's performance in the beef versus Meek specifically.
Oh man, that was a body. If it's a body, it's like a 98, right?
I mean, it's up to you.
If it's a body, like if you killed a man, that's like I feel like that's like a 90.
That's a 90?
I
want you to use your ratings carefully because I have a lot of bodies on this list.
Okay. So let me give you an analytical take real quick.
Okay.
Drake caught a body, great diss track, not a whole lot of resistance from the other end.
Correct.
So I'll go 84.
84?
84.
That's pretty low considering.
84 is what I'm doing.
Second on my list. I got 50 Cent versus Ja Rule.
Oh man, that might be worse. That's gonna be higher for me because 50 damn near you ain't heard from Ja Rule since. So correct. if the Drake and Meek is at 84, I'm gonna go 87.
87. I like that. I like that.
87.
So I want to give you one that's on the losing end.
Okay.
I wanted more recency. I want to hear your rating, Drake versus Kendrick. How Drake performed. Now, we're not talking about it's. I want to be clear when we make this, because we're talking about Drake's performance strictly. This is not how Kendrick responded. I think things can kind of get convoluted when we do that.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about strictly Drake's performance against Kendrick.
Okay. So as a 2K player, Drake's performance. So I think Family Matters was really good. I thought Push Ups was good. The last one I thought was bad. He like, what's Kelly Oubre's rating in 2K? like a 76? I give it Family Matters does carry a lot because I did like that song. I did think that was a pretty credible diss.
I thought Family Matters was crazy. I agree.
Crazy. That was probably my favorite. I mean, now Not Like Us has grown into a whole different form. It's hard to say that Family Matters is better than that, but as a hip hop fan, there's just more. You could really break it down and just say Drake's breath control, Drake's like multi-syllable game, because Not Like Us is a very simple song.
Yeah, no, it's his most simplistic beef song out of this whole situation.
Exactly.
But it's done on purpose, obviously.
I'm gonna go seven. I'm gonna go whatever Kelly Oubre's rating is. I'm gonna go 76. 76 for Drake's performance.
All right, these last two are gonna be fun. I just kind of want to hear your logic.
Okay.
I want Pusha T's performance against Drake.
Man, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay.
Where you rated 50, 87? Okay, remember that. And Drake versus Meek, you had 84.
I feel like it's almost the same. This is gonna piss off a lot of people. It's okay. I just won't clip it. It's fine. I think Drake did Meek dirtier than Push did Drake.
Okay.
So I would do it
which is crazy.
One under.
He revealed it.
You're right.
He revealed the child.
I know, but I don't care, you know? So I'll go 83.
83? Okay.
83.
And you know
one under.
You know what the last one is. It's the Boogeyman, how he performed. His only diss situation. Nobody's ever gonna climb up that tree ever again. I think it's safe to say. But you know the last one. Kendrick versus Drake. What we got?
As a 99.
Is Kendrick strictly based off performance? Separate conversation. In your eyes, where does Kendrick rate all time as performance and beef?
I've obviously I'm a 27, about to be 28-year-old man. So some beefs happened when I was a youngin. Like LL Cool J and Cannabis, I know about it. I've heard the records.
You weren't there.
I wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
So that's important to understand in this. But it's not just the records though with the Kendrick Drake beef. It's the records by Kendrick. It's Not Like Us being the biggest song in the world, right? And then it's the concert where he played Not Like Us and had the crowd singing that Drake's a pedophile in unison with the beat dropped a cappella, holding the mic like to the crowd for 6 straight songs, and then doing the video, which had just more like the big thing Kendrick had or that Drake had against Kendrick was, you treat your wife like shit. Y'all don't like you. She doesn't fuck with you. Her baby's someone else's. You beat her, whatever. And then they're dancing, holding hands in the video. Like Kendrick did everything perfect in this beef. And the beating kept going after the song stopped. Yeah. And I've never seen anything like that before. Obviously, you see 50 Cent continuing to like send disses at Ja Rule all the time. And that's cute. I get that. But this was, not only did I knock this man out, I went and dug the grave with myself, and I picked him up myself, dropped him in there myself, and then put the dirt on top of it. I've never seen anything like it. And again, I am a youngin'. There is stuff I have not seen, or I know about, but I wasn't there. But as far as anything that I can sit here and watch every single moment and live every single moment, this is coming from a Drake fan. Like I'll continue to listen to Drake. I listened to Drake the other day. I listened to If You're Reading This the other day. Like this is I've never seen something get past the records and still be like, man, it's getting worse and worse as the days go on. This has been a 2-month long beatdown. And it feels like it's still not stopping.
Facts. For the record, that song Not Like Us just went #1 again.
It's 99. It's so in the 2K rating game that we are playing, I don't know how you get better. And if I feel like you can't get better, it's a 99.
That's a Miami Heat LeBron James right there.
Yeah, that's AI with the Sixers. That's Kobe with Pau Gasol. Yeah.
Can we talk about Wayne trying to save Drake?
Finally? Yeah, good segue. My man.
I got you, big dog.
Yeah, so for context, Wayne does a residency in Vegas, and he was performing Motto, and Motto and Not Like Us have a similar tempo.
It's a similar bop.
And sure. Before the song started, Wayne was saying, "Not like us, you not like us, you not like us," and then he pulled out his OVO owl chain, tucked it out, and was wearing it proudly, and then proceeded to perform Motto. So Wayne's rocking with Drake. I don't think that's a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Because they go way back. I will say, if Kendrick pisses off Wayne, this gets really fun.
So one, I don't think that happens just because Kendrick has so much respect for Wayne
at all.
I think Wayne was just high and was like, "Oh shit, Drake's on my label still." Like, I guess my point is, Wayne's been outside. This is the first time we've heard anything from him in this situation. Not that we expect him to jump in the beef. That's not what we're expecting.
That's not his game either.
No, give me an OVO shirt just in the middle of the beef or something like that.
Yeah.
He watches man get beat down. It's like, oh shit, I should probably do something. And now we get him mocking the #1 song in the world. It's kind of like, nah.
Yeah, I think Wayne thinks it's silly. It's from what he did and how he responded. I think Drake would probably prefer you not sing along to Not Like Us, because that's very clippable. If you don't know the context, that's very clippable.
Mm-hmm.
But but then he pulls out his OVO owl chain, and then he proceeds to do Motto, which is a Drake record. He's rocking with his boy. I remember when Drake and Pusha T were going at it, Wayne had that one record that was like, "Fuck Pusha T and everybody that love him."
The Pusha T beef started with him, before Drake. So I think it's a little different versus the Kendrick and Drake beef. Outside of Drake being on his label, he has no shoe in the game.
Yeah, there's no shot that you get anything other than. But that's not fun though. It's fun to think about.
Agreed.
What if Wayne just kind of, smokes a little too much?
But who is Wayne beef with outside of Gilly the Kid?
Inside of Push.
Okay, but nobody. Did he ever respond to Push ever?
No, I just remember the "Fuck Pusha T and everybody that love him" bar that opened up the record.
Okay, but do you remember?
He got his head up his ass. Watch me headbutt him. Terrible bar. Terrible bar.
And then Pusha gave you Exodus.
Yeah.
Which classic. I don't want to hear it anymore.
But Wayne has always had that nonchalant. He's like, I don't listen to nobody. I listen to my shit. Yeah.
And he's consistently in that, so it kind of works for him.
Yeah. And then he's cool with everybody.
I get it. But I don't know. I think Wayne's jumping in. Wayne's not going to jump in it. Let's be clear.
No. But that's not fun, though.
It's just, so recently I've been, in the streets, Twitter streets. People are like, man, Kendrick Lamar went crazy at this, but he better not diss Eminem. Obviously, when we heard the Eminem album and everybody thought he dissed him, it's like, nah. And yeah, Kendrick doesn't stand a chance. And I started thinking about it. Who the hell has Eminem even dissed that's legitimate? Mariah Carey?
MGK?
MGK was his most legitimate
battle. Mariah Carey might rap better than MGK.
And MGK was close. Like this.
It was a debatable.
Like, do I think Eminem won? Sure. But we were having a conversation, which is a problem.
We talk about that. We're like, yo, if you can have the convo, you lost.
If you're the underdog, you won.
Right. Like that did more for MGK.
So who has Eminem had a reputable battle with?
Nobody.
Insane Clown Posses?
In Sync. Benzino. What?
Benzino? Oh my God.
You're forgetting about Big Zeno?
Big Zeno, big ass neck Zeno? Hell
like,
yeah.
You forgetting? He just dropped the track a couple months ago.
What if Coi Leray responds instead of Benzino? You know she hates her dad. She might help crazy. Eminem. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think Coi Leray might rap better than Benzino. I'm gonna be honest. No, and didn't Benzino come out and say like he didn't write the shit? Probably. I swear to God, he came out and was like, "Yeah, of course I didn't write that shit." But like, it's like,
but like he disses Eminem and starts crying. So I don't know how legitimate I can take those disses.
He been trying to. Back in the day, he pulled up some clips of Eminem saying that he doesn't like black girls, and then he put that. He had like a press conference, and then he was like, "I need y'all to take this as serious as you would take any other hate crime." And people were like, "No." People were
Benzino,
like, "No,
we don't believe anything you say." But in all seriousness, has Eminem actually gone to battle with anybody legitimate?
No, okay. But that's part of the game, though. I wanted to see him and Game go at it. I'm gonna be honest.
Game will rap about you for 10 years straight.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it'd be funny because they was talking about. I remember this was a couple years ago, but Game came out and said like I would do a versus with Eminem. I rap better than Eminem, and I was like. Eminem respond because the Game is going to be involved. Like, he's going to go in.
And he'll never stop.
Right. I was like, this is going to be fun. But then he didn't. I thought maybe Joe and Eminem might go at it, which would have also been fun. But also, it's better if you don't.
Yeah, Eminem's one of those guys that's so popular that obviously you don't care so much about what fans think, but the fans will rate that they win regardless.
So yeah. It's a lose-lose battle. Like it might be good to just rap just to, some exercise, like lyrical exercise. That sounded so corny. But
that's trash. I ain't gonna lie.
But if you're really trying to make a stamp somewhere, it's just not the way to do it. It's one of those fan bases that it's cemented, it's built up, they're delusional, respectfully. Don't come after me. But
he said that, not me.
There's this. That's my favorite thing to do nowadays: is see an Eminem video, then go to the comment section. That's my favorite thing to do.
They be protecting him at all costs.
I'd be eating. I'd be like eating lunch, and people, how you watch like Netflix when you eat lunch. Facts, I go to the comment section of Eminem videos. That's what I do.
Eminem fans be going crazy with their welfare checks. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's crazy.
So yeah, it's such a concrete. When that music be bumping, their trailer be going.
Hell, they in the trailer. Oh shit! And they don't get the full. They ain't getting the full acoustics. That's not happening.
I hate it here. I really do. They're not getting the full acoustics. I hate it. This is not on your list, but I wanted to. This just came across my shit, and I wanted to bring it up to you. So LL Cool J's dropping an album. Eminem's cool. On it. But LL Cool J's dropping an album, and he's going on a press tour. And they asked him about Andre 3000 and Andre 3000's recent comments about Andre saying, "I put out a flute album because I ain't got shit to say because I'm 50. What do I have to say?" LL Cool J thought that was crazy and lame. And he's like, bro, like, you got plenty to say. I think it's corny that you think you don't. And so 3K responded. And some better news, 3K said there was kind of a misunderstanding. He said he has things to say, but he wants to deliver it in an innovative way. So, and then when they asked him if we will get a rap album, he said maybe. So
I don't believe that shit.
I mean, it's better than just nah.
No, but 3K's been lying to me for 30 years. I'm over it.
Like I've been lying to you since 94.
I'm taking this personal. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I would kill for a 3K album. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might change my son's name to 3K if he drops an album.
Not even Andre, 3K.
That's on the list, Andre. If you listen to this, that's an offer.
I'll put out an album before
I'll
September.
change that shit today. But I don't believe it. I'm cool.
I think, I'll say this, LL Cool J, you're a legend, but there's a big difference between you and Andre 3000.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I heard an LL Cool J snippet. LL Cool J was going crazy. LL Cool J is one of the best rappers all time. I know a lot of young people don't know that anymore. They just know LL Cool J for being the sole light-skinned dude.
On NCIS or whatever show he's on.
Yeah, he's on NCIS. I don't know. Whatever. But he's one of the greats. LL Cool J, I like to age people out. He's 56 years old.
Damn.
He old as hell. He looked better than me, and he's 56, which is kind of crazy.
he boy's built.
Yeah, no, this is not about looks. This is strictly based off age.
Right.
But I don't mind mature rappers as long as they're rapping about mature things. So you know what? I'm gonna listen to it. We're gonna talk about it. I'm ready for it.
I think what he was kind of course, when you're in album mode, you can say like, I can't believe 3K doesn't have shit to say. That shit's corny. And 3K kind of responded and said, yo, I'm not saying don't rap and be old. He's like, if it's in you, rap all the time, tour all the time. If it's in you, he's like, it's just not in me like that. And he's saying, if I were to do something, it would have to be in an innovative way and in a fresh, new, innovative way. And my response to that is, every time you fucking rap, it's innovative.
He's never.
No one does shit like you ever.
He's gonna release album when he dies, just from heaven. This is as innovative as it gets. It's not happening. I would love. You know what? I do appreciate how 3K has done it, because it's not like he doesn't give us verses. We get a verse every few years consistently. Yep. Right. So it's hard to be unsatisfied as a fan. As a fan, he's given me some of my favorite verses in the past 15 years. So I'm cool. Like, if that's all I get, I'm cool. Just keep giving me those every now and then.
Real quick before we transition to basketball,
okay.
Meg Thee Stallion was on Steve Harvey's Celebrity Family Feud, and the question she got was, name something your partner does with your feet.
Hey,
ain't no way that was random.
No,
ain't no way.
They said, who up there? Feed this question. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Meg Thee Stallion's Meg Thee Stallion. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's a good rapper.
You see that report that they found some bots in her shit?
It was me.
Her shit debuted like top 5 or some shit like that. And then they said they did some research. Spotify did some filtering, and she lost like 30 million streams, suspicious of being bots. And her shit dropped from like top 5 to 30.
That's crazy, because those 30 million was me watching that shit on mute. So
sorry.
It's real. It's
it's real, but it's not,
you know what I mean? I ain't heard the song yet, but 30 million is definitely me.
30 million is crazy.
I mean, Meg Thee Stallion, Houston native. I ain't gonna talk too crazy. Good luck. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Let's get into some basketball.
Of course.
We got in the midst of Summer League. I guess we could start there with the Summer League. There's a whole lot of conversation all over the place.
It's all about Bronny,
It's all about Bronny. I'm gonna get to the point where I feel bad for the kid.
No, 100%.
Because he's the 55th pick. Like, okay, someone's in our comment section, right? This dude says, wasted pick, he's gonna be a bust. Motherfucker, every 55th pick is a bust. You're like, no, it blows my mind. These Bronny James people, like these haters, they're like, he's gonna be a bust. Fam, you're not saying anything that's like against the grain. This is not a hot take.
Okay, but I just want to be clear. He's been set up from failure from the jump, because
even with his heart,
a tweet. It's not funny. A tweet's been rolling around from a year ago where Bronny's watching NBA TV and was like, "Ha, Bronny's better than most of these bums."
Thanks, Dad.
Can I read off some stats real quick?
Oh, okay. Yep.
He's averaging in Summer League. This is not against real NBA players. This is Summer League. He's averaging 4 points a game. Okay.
That's what he did in college. Consistency.
Hey. He gonna give you 2 buckets every game. Which one? He's averaging about 3 boards a game, 2 assists. He's shooting 22% from the field. 22 is my favorite number, so I kind of rock with that. He's shooting 0% from the 3-point line, which ironically is identical to what I would shoot if I was in the NBA. So I'm pulling for him. He's been there's a video a guy made of a clip of just Brian not giving any effort on defense, and he's 3 minutes of him screaming at the camera. I don't know, man. I don't expect much from a 55th pick. He's getting an unfair look in the NBA because of his last name. It sucks. Recently there was a Jaylen Brown clip. He's sitting next to Angela Reese, and I don't know her name. She's a fine girl that just got dropped from the Chicago Sky. That's all I got for you. But you can see in his mouth, he's like, I don't think Bronny's gonna be in the league. Now, obviously,
he says, I don't think Bronny's a pro.
Which is
he's
not wrong. He's not wrong. But it's he's now going on an apology tour on Twitter.
He didn't even say that he didn't say that shit. All he did was like, I think he's got the tools to be successful. It's like, fam, so you saying you said that shit?
Yeah, no. He's just like, I mean, I said what I said, but hey, that's that LeBron James gotten that. When you see LeBron James on your phone after that comes out, you gonna do some course correcting. That's all.
Yeah. It sucks, man.
I feel for him.
Just using it's these fans that think they're saying something. Like that you have a hot take or that you're saying something interesting when you're saying Bronny's going to be a bust. A 55th pick and bust should not be in the same sentence because 99% of 55th picks are busts.
And plus, if you know anything about nepotism, he doesn't have to perform. That's not what comes in this package. On the positive side, if you want to call him a winner, Brian James won $10K on the Call of Duty Summer League tournament. So there's that.
Yeah,
I just want to
it's not looking good right now.
But things change, right? We've seen some legit players be trash in Summer League, but we've also seen people like number 3 on the Houston Rockets. He's not number 3, but he looks like CP3 out there. Reed Shepherd. I knew he was real when I was talking to my wife, and she's like, "Y'all gonna talk about my boy Reed Shepherd?" I said, "Oh shit."
I'm gonna get you pregnant again.
Facts. No. What you want this time?
What you want this time is crazy.
But Reed Shepherd's been going crazy. Not biased.
He looks like the best player in the draft.
Not biased at all. You know what I'm saying? Just casual NBA fan that happens to be talking about the Rockets.
I have a bunch of different teams.
Yeah, non-related. No, he looks solid.
He looks like the best player in the draft.
100%. Alex Sarr looks like he doesn't belong on an NBA court ever in his life. And ironically, that's who was my favorite person. So this is a non-biased statement. I watched him play a Summer League game and I was like, bro, you tall, you can block somebody maybe. That's about it.
We're 2 games in.
3 games, so 3 games.
It's my bad.
That makes all the difference.
Nah.
All the difference in the world.
You're right.
All the difference in the world.
You got his whole portfolio.
It's crazy. But it's we have more to see. I'll put it like that. And then you got Zach from Atlanta.
They said Zachary, I think it's Rich to say, I think is the proper way to say it. They're saying he is the least drippiest first overall pick of all time. They're saying he plays with no accessories, no armbands, no nothing.
They did a questionnaire for the NBA Summer League. They're asking all the draft picks, hey, what was your highest scoring game? That boy's highest scoring game was like 32. Like
some of these dudes are like, I put up 80 in high school.
Yeah, no, they're like, yeah, I scored like 32. Bro, who is you playing?
Well, to be fair, he's probably only played against pros like his whole life.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Not catered to jokes, but that's fair.
He was like, when they put the chalk on and they like wipe their shoes and then they get on the court to start the game. The camera guy was on him from like a lower view, And then people in the comments going crazy. They're like, they said there's never been a first overall pick with less aura than this guy. They're like, he looks like every other player that's out there.
That I watched the Atlanta versus Washington Summer League game, and I'm telling you, I watched that game. I was like, wait, who's the number 1 and number 2 pick? I'm confused.
Like they just kind of mix in, don't
they just blend in with everybody else. It's just versus my boy Reed Shepherd looks like
he looks like a pro.
He looks like something special out there. So it's good to see as a maybe Rockets fan. But I think obviously we got to go into the NBA league. But I'm curious to see what happens with these players. I was really pulling for Alex Sarr because I like his build and I feel like it's hard to find. But I don't feel too solid after watching a few games. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I think it's early, and I think his like best case scenario was still that of a role player, which is why I didn't love the pick. Yeah. You know, like people, the most any scout that you really trust was saying, "Oh, he's going to be a really good 3-and-D guy."
It's just not like, what you want to draft at 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's like
4.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But Reed Shepherd, not only what he does shooting the ball, which is obviously very good, but his defense is very good.
Yeah.
It's
for being undersized, it's very impressive.
And you think about the dudes that are undersized in the league. Bam. I'm not gonna say the person I want to say because
Cocaine Curry.
If those guys can do it, and one could say, if you want to look at a Trae Young, you want to look at a Steph Curry, and I'm talking about just from a defensive standpoint, Reed probably plays better defense than both of them, for sure.
We have to see it in the NBA. I want to be clear. Before we make that statement, I want to see it in the NBA.
Just from even, what we've seen in college, Reed Shepherd is a better defender than those guys. If he can score and play make half as good, we're onto something here. And it's gonna be fun. I also want to highlight Jordan Miller for the Clippers, leading summer league, 28.5 points in 29 minutes in over 2 games.
That's tough.
So tough. Clippers got a dog there.
They need something, goddamn it.
But yeah, no, the summer league it's been interesting, and then
it's been entertaining for sure.
Yeah, and then we're going off of free agency and some trades and all this shit, and we got some new contracts announced. Jalen Brunson leaves $113 million on the table to take a team-friendly deal with the Knicks.
Villanova boys.
And then there's word that Mikal Bridges is going to do the same thing.
But if you want to be a winner, I understand it. I understand the perspective of, hey, I'm not giving that much money. I got to make what I make. I'm only in the league for X amount of time. I understand that. But when you're making $300-$400 $1 million contracts, all right, bro. Like 330 and 410 is not going to be that big of a difference. Right. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
It's like the difference between 100 M's and $1 billion. Like, it's not that crazy.
It's a lot of money, but your life has changed forever.
You can only spend so much money.
Like, I know this sounds crazy from somebody who has zero in his bank account, but I'm just saying, like, just take it. I'll put it like this. I think that Charles Barkley would give up a lot of money to get 1 ring.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
And he didn't make that much money back then. So right. I think if I'm Jalen Brunson's not making chump change. He's still making 9 figures. If I want to say, hey, I'm going to take a team-friendly deal, keep ourselves competing. Mikal does the same thing. I get everybody to do the same thing. I get one more player in this. If I come out with 1 ring, it was worth it, in my opinion.
I have no idea why the NBA doesn't do this. The NFL does this. Yeah. Baseball is notoriously doing this right now, where you're taking deferred money. I don't understand why NBA players, and I don't want to, there's just too much hate on LeBron, but why doesn't LeBron do something like this?
He took a pay cut and saved $3 million.
It was like $4 million, it was some shit like that. Like he saved $4 million.
I'll take a pay cut. I'll save $3 million. Now you can go and get one of the 60th picks from the NBA draft.
Go get the guy we should have taken at 55. But if LeBron left 113 M's on the table, what can you do with that? You know,
that changes things drastically.
Because we talk about the Lakers have made 0 moves. All they've done is had D'Angelo Russell opt back in. You drafted Bronny and Dalton Connect, and Connect looks nice.
He looks solid. It's not enough, but he looks solid.
It's I don't know. I have no idea why the NBA has not gotten to that point yet. It just seems like every contract's the biggest contract ever, And I don't know. I mean, we'll see. And speaking of money, top free agents that are still available.
Okay.
I got one, and this has been my boy.
Okay.
So let's talk about it. And I got some numbers. I don't have numbers, but I have facts for you. Tyus Jones is a free agent. Okay. Tyus Jones has a better player efficiency rating than Tyler Hero, Darius Garland, and Drew Holiday. And he remains unsigned. I get it. He's a smaller guard, and I get it. He played for a shitty team. I understand. But it's like, the player efficiency rating is a number I really like to look at because it literally incorporates everything. Made shots, missed shots, turnovers, steals. It incorporates everything, and it gives you a solid number. And if you look at all the point guards on that list, I mean, he's not towards the top, but I mean, we're talking about, I'm not saying he's a better player than Tyler Hero. I'm not saying he's a better player than Darius Garland or Drew Holiday, but he's obviously doing something right to accumulate that number. It's not a false number.
Correct, yeah.
Because if you look at the top of the player efficiency rating, it's your Lucas, it's your Tyrese Halliburtons, it's your best guys, and it
makes sense.
It goes in that order. And then, Tyus Jones sits there in the middle of the pack within really good company. So I wonder who he's going to sign with. I think he's a solid backup point guard for whoever needs it. I like to see him go because he helped Memphis a lot of years behind Ja. He went to a shitty situation in Washington because anybody who goes there, it's a shitty situation. But doesn't remain with the team. And another guy I have, who I'm less high on than Tyus Jones, Markelle Fultz doesn't have a team. Look, he's not a shooter. We know this. He can't shoot. Cool. A really good defensive point guard that's a really good playmaker and good size on top of that. I'd like to see where he goes. I think those two guys really pop off the board when I think of some free agents that are still out there.
So let me ask you this, because this guy was on my list and he signed recently, today actually. Gary Trent Jr. signs to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep.
How do we feel about the fit?
He's Malik Beasley's replacement because Beasley's going to Detroit. Shout out, thoughts and prayers to Malik Beasley.
He needed facts.
And so, you bring in the exact same type of player, just a 3-point shooter. That's going to be super good. But yeah, it's a good fit. Gary Trent Jr. for the rest of his career is going to bounce around from playoff team to playoff team because he's just a really good 3-point shooter. Won't rebound, won't play make. Defense, I don't have anything to support it, but I'm sure it's not very good. And so, yeah, just shout out. He's like Jason Capono. Remember him? He was a 3-point. He was crazy for 3-point. Yeah,
3-point specials.
Kyle Korver, those guys that are just there to light it up and just shoot nothing but threes. It's Malik Beasley's replacement.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Yep.
I got a challenge for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna give you 3 offers. I want you to rate the trade. Can you do that for me?
You're giving me okay. All right, let's do it.
Let's start with trade 1. This is a trade to move Julius Randle from the Knicks to the Cavs. What you got?
I see Zach LaVine and Terry Rozier.
You are not looking at the same page as me.
Well, that's what you're sharing. It's not my fault. Don't get mad at me for what I'm looking at.
No, I'm upset. I'm upset.
Yeah, no, that was a Zach LaVine trade that I didn't even get to look at because you done took it away from me. Here we go. Julius Randle and Miles McBride to the Knicks for Jarrett Allen and Georges Niang. Here's my no, I don't like it.
But I don't like it. Tell me why. Who says no and why?
I think the Knicks should say no. I'm keeping Julius Randle, and I'm keeping Miles McBride.
4K.
I like those dudes. Jared Allen's cool. He's a good pick and roll big man. He's lengthy, pause, and plays good defense. I like Georges Niang too. That dude's nice, but I'm not messing with what the Knicks got right now.
But I think the Knicks succeeded last year without Julius Randle at
No,
the
for
highest level.
sure, for sure.
I think when you have a Hartenstein leave, that's when you have to address that. You can't not address that. You got a bunch of 3-and-D guys that are undersized, which is great. Josh Hart can rebound, great. I think they benefit from bringing in a solid big man that you can rely on.
Probably. I think I'm higher on Julius Randle than most people, and I think Jared Allen's cool. And I also feel like Miles McBride's really nice, and I feel like I'm giving away, in my opinion, if I'm looking at this from my standpoint, I'm giving away Julius Randle, who I'm high on, and a really good potential point guard from my standpoint, and I'm getting back Jared Allen, Georges Niang. I don't like it.
All right, let's rock. We're gonna look at the other one we were already looking at. Let's do that. How about that?
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the Bulls trade the Heat, Zach LaVine and Dalen Terry, and they get back Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Josh Richardson, and a 2026 first-round pick, and then a second-round pick via the Lakers.
Right.
Okay,
now,
so
keep in mind, Zach LaVine's contract is huge in comparison to what
the
Bulls get. So you have to have some supplement people in there.
I don't know if I'm crazy here, but I think this is closer than the last one. Because think about it. Who's really gonna go? And we've seen these trades where it's someone we really value, and then the actual trade happens, and we're like, damn, it seems like y'all just gave them away.
Yeah.
If I'm getting Terry Rozier, I'm not mad at that.
Absolutely,
I'm not saying LaVine and Rozier. I think LaVine is a good amount better than Rozier. But if we're talking about what we are getting back, you're telling me I get a first round pick from the Heat, and
which might be an all right pick, middle of the pack.
If they blow it up, because Jimmy, you never know, right?
That's 2 years from now. Absolutely.
But I will say I love Zach LaVine to the Heat. I really do. Because I'm a big fan of contrast, right? So I think if you put Zach LaVine on a team with no structure, it's not going to be great.
Yeah.
If we can see Zach LaVine in a Spoelstra system where he's already, and there's you got 2 Zach LaVines. I think Tyler Hero and Zach LaVine are very comparable.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 2 of those, but then you also got a young Jaime Jaquez. You got Jimmy Butler and Bam playing elite defense. That's a squad. That's legitimately a squad. And I'm a big fan of taking the dude who maybe is just a scorer, doesn't play no defense, and putting him on a team that plays defense. I like that move a lot. So I like this trade. I'd accept.
All right. Last one.
I like this segment.
Let's have some fun with this one.
Uh-oh. Okay.
We got the Lauri move finally happening.
Lauri Markkanen going to the Warriors, and the Warriors trade Kyle Anderson, Kuminga. Jackson Davis would look really good a couple games, and a first-round pick.
Who says no? If not, why? Or are you just straight up accepting it?
Oh,
both teams accept.
Man, well, I think if I'm the Jazz and Markkanen's not a part of your rebuild, and I'm getting Kuminga, that's a good piece. That's a good rebuilding piece. Put him on the court and let him play 34 minutes a game. Let's see what he's really about. And I get a first round pick about it. I don't know if you're going to get a better deal for Markkanen than that. I think this works for both sides.
Keep in mind, the Jazz are known for screwing people over. They want they want a wet towel and just drench everything out of you. So that I don't know if they'll accept it because of that. But to your point, Jonathan Kuminga, first round pick. I get me a Trace Jackson Davis that I can be iffy on. But he's really good. He's on a great contract. I don't, if he doesn't work out, oh well. I'm paying him less than $2 million a year.
And Kyle Anderson was a playoff assassin.
And he takes 6 business days to shoot a shot. So that's nice to have as well. So I gotta look at the positives. If I'm the Warriors, obviously I'm trying to win now. Lost Clay. I still have Steph for probably a solid 3 to 4 years. He's a great pickup to add into the mix.
I like to think that there's some type of rule where you can't trade Anderson because you just signed him.
I am using this on a professional website that said success.
I don't know if it accounts for that.
So I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it.
Maybe you could see Wiggins involved in this too.
I can see it. Yeah, I can definitely see it. I can definitely see Wiggins. But I think contract-wise, it throws it off a little bit, but I can definitely see that. But if they keep Wiggins and they get marketed, I think that's the Warriors move up a little bit.
Yeah, like, and I truly think Kuminga as a rebuilding piece on top of some young talent. Go out there, just throw them to the Wolves. We talk about the Rockets, like what they're doing with Jalen Green. Like, you're gonna play every game. You're gonna play 30+ minutes, and you're gonna be available all game to see if you can sink or swim. And I think
you can get 15+ shots a game. I don't care.
Yeah, just have fun. Like, go out there and you have a green light. Just go do it and see if Kuminga's really, because he seems to have a lot of confidence in himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's go see if that's true. I like that trade a lot. 2 of those 3 trades I really like. So in the name of trades, this is funny.
Okay.
You brought me some trades that, do we like them or not? I went back and found some trades. I found a trade that was proposed by either some fans or whatever, ESPN, Bleacher Report, whatever, back in the day. And I want you to talk about how badly this trade would have aged, okay?
Okay.
Back when Porzingis was on Dallas.
Okay.
It's this trade. This is a legit trade. I didn't screenshot it and put it up here, but I physically saw this trade and I wrote it down. Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Brunson when he was with Dallas, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Josh Green to the Wizards for Bradley Beal and Thomas Bryant.
Wizards, push that through. Push that through.
It's a legit trade. I went and scrolled all the way back.
You are now a playoff team, my friend.
That's
crazy.
And speaking of worst trades, the team that has I don't know if it's their fans. I don't know. The team that has the worst trades is the Lakers.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yo, they be like, yo, I'm going to give you D'Angelo Russell, a 2042 first-round pick, a 2056 first-round pick for Jokic. Who says no?
Yeah, no.
Like, that's what
they
do.
What? It's crazy. It's like, I'm going to give you D'Lo, Rui. I want Damian Lillard, Giannis, and give me a Donovan Mitchell.
Who says no? Everybody says no.
I think we're giving up a lot, but
like, it's the team that has absolutely nothing, and
they
they're
have
like
no assets.
The picks that they're trading are 10 years in the future because they traded all their picks to get the guys they got now that they're trying to trade. I'm gonna have a stroke.
So, all right, let me ask you this: if you're Rob Pelinka, what are you doing with the Lakers right now?
Put it on eBay. Like, who want this?
Hey, who want it?
I'm making a post on Craigslist.
I got LeBron.
I'm on Facebook Marketplace, being like, okay, like, I got Anthony Davis as a swell guy.
He's super swell.
But it's what we talked about. There's no wiggle room with the money because Anthony Davis is one of the best players in the game. LeBron's one of the best players in the game, and you're paying them everything. And
so why not?
Say it.
Why not move them and start a rebuild? Because I'm sorry, but the last time Lakers did a rebuild, they brought in the right talent. They just moved on super quick from it.
You don't have time for that.
But you brought in a Brandon Ingram, a Julius Randle.
Yep.
You had a D'Angelo Russell,
Kuzma,
a Kyle Kuzma, who was actually legitimate when he was with LA.
Nice.
All you had to do was add a couple pieces, and that's a playoff team immediately.
Yep. I hear you.
So why that's not the move right now is beyond me. Because I think if you attract the right talent, you have the right system, convincing guys to come to LA is not that difficult. Right now it is because your organization looks like a train wreck.
The Lakers don't know how to operate without a star. They don't know how to do it. Like they had during that rebuild, they had Kobe.
Yeah.
They had Kobe. And like now then they go from Kobe, you go straight to LeBron. And they do not know how to sell tickets without the big names.
What happens when LeBron's gone? We have Bronny. Same thing, right?
we still have LeBron. I think Bronny's actual government name is LeBron James Jr. And he's like,
we did it. We did it. We're good for the next 15 years.
We got LeBron forever. There won't be basketball anymore, before we run out of LeBrons. It's like, man, they don't know how to rebuild, and they're in a state, and they're in LA. Basketball is good when the Lakers are good. They don't know how to. LeBron's not going anywhere. If any star is going to go somewhere, it's going to be Anthony Davis. But I think LeBron and AD like each other a lot.
Yeah.
So they're not. LeBron's going to say, no, you're not trading AD. And it's like, okay,
we're just going to lose together.
And you do what LeBron says, because I'm not saying that's the right move, but that's how they know how to operate. I'm sure there was the same with Kobe. Like there's like whatever Kobe said is what you did. And it worked. That's what they're used to.
And bring LeBron over, you won a championship. It worked, but that's over now. You know that you can't contend. You were bringing in JJ Redick. How do you compete with that? I feel like they're setting him up for failure. You got to know, okay. And I think organizations make this decision, and it's the right decision. I know that this is going to result in us losing immediately. I get that. But long term, this is going to lead to success. I think you see that. The Oklahoma City Thunder is the perfect example of what to do going forward.
Right.
I'm going to suck for a couple years. I know that. It's okay.
So what's the difference between OKC and LA? It's the market. That's it. OKC can straight up say, we're going to be terrible. I'm going to pile up on picks because no one's watching us. No one cares.
Yeah.
LA, you can't do that in LA.
If you suck in LA, it's going to be talked about.
Yeah, you're going to be pressured.
But the whole market of LA is gone now. Social media exists. I can be in OKC and be a superstar. I can be in Milwaukee and be a superstar. It doesn't matter anymore.
I don't know, man. Also, not to change topics or go back to bad trade proposals, I'm going to go back to when the Rockets were trying to trade James Harden, and the only thing people could come up with is Ben Simmons, and people were okay with that.
Let me tell you something. So far, there's 5 picks left. Obviously, they traded some to get some of the Suns pick, which sounds like they're really setting up for a Devin Booker down the line. But so far, if I get nothing else, I got a Tari Eason and a Reed Shepherd from a James Harden trade with 5 more picks to go. What a fleece. If we're talking about the other option was Ben Simmons, who may never play an NBA game ever again. I don't know.
I don't know if it's because people were hating James Harden, because at that time you hated him because it was ugly. It was ugly. And people not giving up on Ben Simmons and still believing in the potential. We talk about 2K logic. Yeah. I don't know what it's more of, but knowing what we know now, there were legit trade proposals of Harden and Ben Simmons, and there were some people that were
straight up.
And contract wise, I understand why it was like that, but that was talked about, and I just want that to be known, and I want that to be remembered forever.
And I just want to be clear, if I'm not mistaken, this is a Ben Simmons contract here. If Ben Simmons averages like 20 and 10, I'm gonna lose my mind.
He's gonna be teaming up with Pat Beverly in overseas. I can't wait. I'm about to Google right now because I tried to Google earlier and nothing had came up. But I'm trying to see the details of this Patrick Beverly contract. Apparently, it's a historic European contract to go play for Tel Aviv.
And it was reported by Pat Beverly.
Right. So I can't wait for this shit to come out. Someone has said, and I don't want this to be insensitive in the Israel and Palestine situation, but someone said, with all the bricks Beverly going to be building up, he could really help Gaza.
That's crazy.
I couldn't keep that in my head without sharing it with you, because if I'm gonna think about something fucked up, you gonna think about something fucked up, and it's gonna be both of us now. But
we're gonna share it amongst each other.
Yeah, apparently it was do you take a vet minimum somewhere, or do you go and make bukus more
If DeMarcus
overseas?
Cousins get paid, Patrick Beverley can also get paid overseas. So I just think it's funny that 5 years ago, almost to the date, he told Steph Curry, the next 5 years are mine. In that time frame, Steph Curry won another championship. Patrick Beverley may be no longer able to speak English. I just want to clarify.
You can't say shit. No, and it's so funny because he's a competitive dude, man.
He is. Patrick Beverley's fun to watch. I'm not taking that away from him, but
but there's something you really gotta enjoy about those guys that can they know that what they're saying is crazy, but they don't give a shit. Like, they're just like, it's almost like
you respect
they're
the
there just to ruffle feathers, but they almost believe it at the same time. And it's like, I want that level of just, I don't know if it's ignorance, I don't know if it's just not giving a fuck, but I want a level of whatever that is.
It's pure delusion. And you know what? If you can get that off and
he got paid.
That's what I'm saying. He's gotten his money. Keep in mind, Patrick Beverley was completely undrafted. He went overseas, had success, came here, and has gotten paid for 10 years straight. I'm not mad at him. He's got a podcast now. He did what he got to do.
I don't know how many people out there are UFC fans, but it's like Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz talks shit. He's like, I'm the best fighter in the world. He gets beat up constantly. But the thing is, he has fans that are like, I believe it. And it's like, you're sitting there, and of course, someone that's not really invested in it, you're like, fam, you lose every time. But it's that level of delusion. Now, his might actually be like CTE, but like, it's like that level of delusion that you're just like, you ever see someone that's so dumb? And I'm not saying Pat Beverley or Nate Diaz like this, don't beat me up. But like, do you ever see someone so dumb and you almost envy them?
Yeah, because
you just in your own little thing, man.
I respect the level of confidence that has nothing to back it. Like,
right.
when you can be there, hey, big dog, like, I'm happy for you, and I aspire to be like you.
Yo, I'm gonna say some crazy shit, but like, the people that can like fake their way to making millions is almost more impressive than someone who works super hard. And
no, facts.
It's almost more impressive.
I agree. No, that's a fact. Because
like, those dudes,
you have no business being here. You have gotten here strictly off of confidence, and it's working.
It's like, and like, you gotta just like tunnel vision, echo chamber. You just like push through, and it fucking works. We talk about those really bad NBA contracts. It's like, bro, you got here.
No,
that's crazy.
Like, Chandler Parsons might be the GOAT. I'm gonna lie.
Like, what's more impressive, Jordan's 6 rings or Chandler Parsons' contract? What's really more impressive?
Chandler Parsons had a contract, did nothing during that entire contract, and then got another one. I was like, all right, man.
Let's stop talking about this LeBron Jordan debate. Let's talk about Chandler Parsons.
I mean, at some point, you got to recognize dudes getting paid. I think Chandler Parsons got paid more than Michael Jordan throughout his entire NBA career, at least. Which Chandler Parsons, I don't even remember him doing anything.
I don't. Yeah, like,
you gotta respect it. I
think he was a smooth, like, what is his? Hold on.
This is not even hate. You gotta respect it at this point.
No, we go into Basketball Reference. We're gonna go Basketball Reference, and I'm trying to see, maybe we're missing something. Maybe Chandler Parsons like averaged like 26 one year when I was sleeping. Chandler,
he averaged a solid like 20, 21, something like that, 19.
Okay, so I'm seeing a career 12 a game. This isn't good. Okay, let's go. Bro, okay. So think about his contract. You might know the answer. I wasn't too familiar with his stats, even though he played for Houston. Give me your guess on Chandler Parsons. What was his career high in points per game in any given season?
19.5.
Lower.
17?
Lower.
14?
Higher. You're okay. There we go.
16, 15?
16.6.
16.6. Okay. I just want to be clear. So, career earnings through 2024 for Chandler Parsons, $127 million. Bro, I will fight for 16 points if you're going to pay me $127 million. Like, I want to be clear. ain't gonna be the prettiest, but I can get 16 points a game if you gonna pay me that much.
Dude, like, so that was his last year in Houston. That's where he got his Dallas contract, right? So 16.6 is what got him the Dallas contract. And then his next year, so the following year, his first year in Dallas, 15.7 points per game. And then he had a second year in Dallas, 13.7. And then he signs his second big contract with Memphis, where he averaged 6.2 points per game. The next year, averaged 7.9. And mind you, these games are in the 30s, like as far as total games played. And then his second to last year, 7.5. And then he played 5 games for Atlanta where he averaged 2.8. That's awesome.
And he made $25 million that year. Hey, man.
Is Jordan really the GOAT?
I just want to be clear. I was never great at basketball. If you think I will go out there and get 3 points a game for $25 million, you have lost your mind. I slap somebody on the court.
Nah, you at least getting 3 free throws.
3 points and 1 rebound. Get a rebound. Like, what are we doing here?
That's crazy.
I gotta step my game up. Hey, man, you gotta respect the finesse. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
You gotta respect the finesser. You know, they say like trust the shooter, respect the shooter. You gotta respect the finesser.
Always respect the finesser. That's how it should go.
I think we just named the episode in the in the closing moments.
I do want to say, R.I.P. Jelly Bean, Kobe Bryant's father. Rest in peace. Damn, man. I'm not getting emotional up here.
That family's going through it.
After the Kobe death, my whole life, I've never had a celebrity death that like actually affected me personally.
Mine was Michael. Me and my mom cried over Michael. I'll never forget it.
See, and I get it. I understand. I will always remember where I was at when Michael died. Always.
Me too. Yeah.
But Kobe's the one that like maybe just sit in a dark room and just he really gone? Like
yeah, like I knew both those. So like when Michael died, I was in elementary school. I was in like late elementary school, like 4th, 5th grade. And I was on the phone with my friends and some honeys, some girls, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do it. And they were like, I was always a ladies' man. And they were like, yo, Michael Jackson just died. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I run downstairs. My mom was in her bedroom and she was on the computer. And I go, Mom, I think Michael Jackson died. And then turned on the news, right? And saw it. And I like hung up with my friend, and me and my mom sat on the edge of the bed and cried while watching that shit.
All that ladies man, all that ladies man shit went out the window quick.
Yeah, no,
King of Pop died.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. And then Kobe, I was in Katy. It was my first apartment with my wife. Yep, and first apartment with Haley, and you just thought it was fake, because in social media, you just thought everything was fake.
I kept trying to prove it wrong to myself over and over again.
And I was like, that you're talking about, I compare it to Michael because it was like, people die, but like the GOAT, when you felt like you just watched him play.
Yeah.
Like you felt like you just saw his last 60-point game.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get lost. R.I.P. to his father, Jelly Bean Bryant. Rockets native, salute.
Yep.
And you gave birth to one of the GOATs. So, not gave birth, but you were responsible for it.
That's like, damn.
That happening.
Kobe's dad went through some shit.
Crazy times.
But well, you really ended on a high. So you have to tell us a joke to get us back on track.
Fuck Rudy Gobert. Always and forever.
All right. So if there's no words of wisdom, we'll definitely call it a pod here. And I didn't even fucking intro this shit because we went to the Big Sean shit and we jumped right into it. But I mean, shit, this is the Bench Player Podcast.
If you made it this far.
At the very end, this is the Bench Player Podcast. Maybe I'll do some editing and put this shit to the beginning. This is the Bench Player Podcast, episode 10. We did 10 of these things.
Oh, over 100 subscribers, 10 episodes. Come on now. Come see us. Share us.
Nothing.
Holla at your boy.
We out of here. Peace.